Hello, beautiful mom leaders. How is everybody doing today on our beautiful Conscious Champagne Chat number 34? Today, I want to raise a little bit your consciousness about parenting. So if you're watching this in the mom leadership group, please leave me a comment, engage. Let me know if you watch this on replay, put a hashtag replay. And if you watch it on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel. The topic of today is about the 3 levels of awareness in parenting. Now, I don't know about you, but I can tell you for sure about me that when I became a first-time parent, a first-time mom, almost 12 years ago, I had no freaking clue, right? I did not go about parenting with a manual or with clear principles. I just kind of went into it and I followed the advice that was given to me by my mom in particular, by my friends and so on. And I never really thought about what kind of parent do I want to be. You kind of know, we think about parenting as this beautiful thing like Disneyland and everything is flowers and rainbows and wonderful. And that's amazing. And I think from an evolutionary perspective, we quite frankly have to think like that about getting children. Otherwise, we might never have children, right? So I didn't have a manual. I had no clue what I was doing. And quite frankly, I was very often lost. And so what I realized was that often I was doing things that I thought they would help, but they didn't. I set out to go and say, this is what I'm going to do. And then I ended up doing the opposite. And how often does that happen to us, right? That we make a promise and we don't stick to it. And it can be as simple as something like you promise yourself that, next time you're not going to lash out. When your kids get on your nerves, you're going to keep it together. You're going to stay calm. And then yet you still they get to you. And so you break that promise. And so what I've realized is that when we're kind of in that state, especially when our kids push our buttons and they really hit on our buttons and we're in this reactive mode all the time and our emotions actually can take control over us, we tend to live in the very first state of parenting awareness. And the 3 states the way I call them is, the first state is we either live in a state of hope, in a state of confidence, or in the state of knowing. Now, a mom leader lives in the state of knowing. And it's a beautiful journey to move from the state of hope to the state of knowing. Let me talk you through the state of hope. Hope is a beautiful energy. There's nothing wrong with being hopeful. Having hope actually triggers a lot of positive actions. But hope also leaves room for things may work out the way you want them to, or they may not work out. There is a lot of room for you not knowing what to do, how to react to your kids when they push your buttons, for example. There's a lot of room for not sticking to your promise, not sticking to your word, having your emotions control and run you. There's a lot of room for not knowing what you actually want to do and how to show up, and then you show up in the way you actually don't want to show up, hoping it will be fine, hoping one day it will sort itself out, hoping this phase is going to be over. Right? How often do we tell ourselves this is just a phase with the child? So when we're in that state, we actually don't know. We feed our mom, us being a mom, we feed her all the time with insecurity, with self-doubt, and trigger a lot of guilt because we don't stick to the things we said we were going to do. That's what guilt is about. Feeling guilty means You want to do something that you didn't do, or you did something that you didn't want to do it that way. That's when we're in the hope state. When we get into the confidence state, we're going a little bit more up the feeling secure, feeling like we're actually kind of knowing what we're doing here. We've experimented with a couple of strategies. We've probably read a ton of parenting books, and we kind of developed our confidence in our parenting skills because we've tried a few things that tend to work with our children. For example, like reward charts, or helping them to develop a growth mindset, like whatever tools you've tried, and so then we see kind of success, and our parenting skills, the confidence in our parenting skills starts to grow. The confidence in ourselves starts to grow. Yet there is a tiny little space for self-doubt. It's still there. It's still there. And we still have things that come along our way that take us by surprise, that catch us off guard. It's like when you've gone through a phase with your child and, you had a rough time, you just kind of struggled through it. And then everything, kind of gets back to normal and it feels good. And you're like, oh, right. Oh, I feel good. I'm a good parent. I feel great about myself. And then the next thing comes and hits you and you're like just right back there where you are. That's when we're kind of in the confidence phase. It kind of comes and goes. There's a lot of, ups and downs. This is also when we are still trying to do it right. One of the biggest mistakes I've made in my parenting is to put all my energy on, I want to do this right. When you move into the knowing awareness, it's a level of freedom that I can't even describe. Like, I know I'm always doing my best. I also know that I cannot do it right. It's impossible as a parent to do everything right. Yet we're like constantly striving to do it right. So take your focus off and know that based on where you're at, you are always doing your best. Growing your emotional leadership means becoming a master in knowing what you want as a parent. Becoming a master in knowing how you want to teach your student, basically. Think about it. The master knows. The master knows. The student is building up his confidence. So if you want to instill confidence in your children, if you want to really grow them into rock solid humans that are immune to the criticisms of this world, you have to know. You have to step up your own game. You have to step into your own power and start knowing. Start knowing. Start knowing about the things that work and stick to them and do them consistently over and over and over. I know that there will be moments where I screw it up and it's going to be okay. I'm not hoping that everything is always going great. It won't. That's unrealistic. I also know, as I said, I can't do it right because there is no right or wrong. And the more I step into the energy of I know how to do this game, the more I also allow myself to actually not know. And that it is okay to not know. And it is okay to show my children that I do not always know. And yet, I'm still rock solid. Yet still here I am, and I know I'm always doing the best in my parenting. So the question I want to leave you with today is, are you living up to your word when it comes to your parenting? Are you really living up to your word? I want you to brainstorm on any broken promises that you have made to your children or to your husband, and what impact did that actually have? And what were you hoping for? Write that down and then flip it and say to yourself, what is it that I know going forward? And stick to it. Commit to it. Because you are the parenting master without a manual. Without a manual. It's going to work. All right, my friends, have fun. And tomorrow I will be seeing you back here, sharing with you on the topic of mom leaders don't praise. See you back. Take care. Bye.